Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. So this video it's gonna name the video like backup or supporting to the version 1 of Unitrunker. The reason I made the video it's had some complaint of in the comment section the people cannot set up the V4 RTL-SDR, so this make me I make another video much more deeper and I'm gonna try to help also the people with the issues with the Unitrunker and setting up the V4 RTL SDRs. Um, Also, I got some complaint. The guy say thanks for the video. I have no sound coming out of my speakers. I really apologize. I don't think the problem is on my side. I have been using a studio microphone. My voice is on constantly monitoring on the recording software. Also, a peace of mind. I got brand new professional microphones. So I hope this time it's everything will be absolutely fine with the sound. Also, I want to say a big thanks for the people who has been subscribed to my channel. Also, people who left a thumb up, who thanks for the video. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoy on the Unitrunker. For the rest of you who has the problems, believe me, this video won't be short. I can't make them shorter than I want. Um, Even doing the longer, I'm breaking some rules of YouTube. But this is now it's different thing, right? So focus on Unitrunker. This was just the intro. Let's go further. I'll show you what is my setup, what I got, and why I have these devices. In the first occasion, to my hardware. So as usual, I'm using two RTL's SDRs as two dongles. If you want to get a success with the trunking system, definitely you need two dongles. One stay on the voice channel, the next one stay into the control channel. So the two working each other. So this is my sorry guys. So this is the RTL SDR I got. I think everything is good. Yeah, absolutely. And I had this from Amazon. On the Amazon, and they're working very well. Bear in mind, if you don't know, if you're new on this, they becomes very hot, very extremely hot. This is absolutely normal for the RTLs or every SDR radio. They have no of mechanical cooling, so it's just heating, which becomes on the shelf on the shelf. That's how the heat goes out. Uh, Also, the important thing is I'm using a USB 3.0 hub. Mm, if you guys has no place on your computer to a blue, you see the blue one, the blue USB, you need to get uh, something this, something like this, the hub for the USB. So this has three on the front parts, one on the back. The important things for this is don't go cheap. This is so important as your computer, let's say. This has a huge amount of data which is coming outside. And if this one is some kind of fake, it won't be work. It happened to me. It's not working. It's just not working properly. You see, I go on the port one of the USB. I got that masking tape. I just mark the port. So I'm gonna explain you why. Um, when you swap when you swap over your RTLs over the ports, the adjustments inside in the trunking, they're gonna gone. So I'm saying, if you have the voice channel on port 1, as I have the mark here, and the control channel on the port 3, as I got this, if you swap them over, let's say this goes on the side and this goes on this, so you have to start over again with the setting up your radio, because the Unitrunker, it just losing the communication port, it's losing the. This is why it's a good habit starting whatever you're starting with your RTL SDRs, just don't swap them. Also, I saw people, they just doing each other the RTL SDR. So you see the gap, it's so tiny, so the heat basically it won't get out properly. This is how, just put above RTL SDRs on the side, so you got plenty of space to hit the get out of the SDRs. Also remember, when you buying the hub, make sure the shell it's metal. Just because the hub becomes also hot, very hot, in some occasion, depend on the usage. This is how the metal it's help with the heat to spread out, to avoid the overheating. So about the cable, so also it's very important. You see this cable, it looks like much better than the cheapest one. Also the USBs, it's also metal, so there's no non-plastic here except the leads on the backside. It's important to get the proper hub, don't be cheap for this. I can't remember literally how much cost me this. I think, I'm just guessing, it was about 25 or 30 pounds. It's something like this, or maybe a bit more. And don't say that to my wife. Right. How long is the wire? So let's say I've got about a meter and a half. This is my setup for the RTLs SDRs, and this works very well to me. The control panel. This step, it's crucial. It's very important to make sure your RTL devices, they are properly set it up, they're properly added to your system, and they're properly working. Let's pay attention on my control panel device manager. So if you don't know how to do so, down the bottom on your search bar on your Windows, you just type device manager. It's just gonna pop up like a side window. On the device manager, you have at the bottom universal serial bus devices. So this must be showing like a BWOC V4 or BWOC V4. If not, you need to follow the next step. If it's anything else like SDRs, or so in some occasion it's doing something like any other system, you just press with the right button, uninstall devices. Just uninstall the both devices. Once you got this uninstalled, completely wiped out of your system, open your ZDIC. Let's take this one down the moment. Once you open your ZDIC, it's important step. Just first of all, press options. After that, press the list our devices. By default, it doesn't come with the tick ignore hubs. This is very important, guys. You need to tick this one out. Let me show you if I'm not, just because I had this one installed already. But if I haven't ticked this one, it's coming all the mess of your computer. So every single device is coming inside. So it's gonna be a headache. Also, in some occasions, the SDRs is coming like a hubs. This is the very wrong driver, because the Windows has some drivers by default. So you need to completely ignore this, or if it's on your control panel, delete that. Okay, so the next step is ignore hubs. Once you press the ignore hubs, the software will ignore all the hubs, all the mess inside on your computer. So you're gonna have less devices and much more readable. Once you do so, it's coming block V4. It's coming by himself. You don't need to look after that. It's just coming on your menu, and it say block or block V4. The next step, it's a install driver or reinstall driver. So if you have this one before, or it's not completely wiped out of your system, you need to do the reinstall driver, or the best way is just go back into the control panel, remove the devices, and install the drivers. Once you do so, you completely need to shut this window down. Confirm yourself that on the universal serial bus devices, it's showing block V4. If no, again, delete that, repeat all the steps. We're almost done with the settings. Now it's time to open the Unitrunker. The first window, it's a settings and the colors, notifications. Also, you got the API key, so for the radio reference to download the database. Let's start one by one with the initial window. So audible. This is once the trunking system works, if it's some traffic on it, this gonna give you a notification, the audible notification for through your speakers. The next is blinking. It's the same notification, but it's blinking. Audio save. Auto save. Apologize. Auto save. This is the auto saving mode. So if you want to save the information you have been cached, this is including the trunking system, the users, radios, completely hold the information basically. Next one, it's keep. So the keep, it say how long you want to keep the saving files, the saving information to your system. By default, it's coming forever. So I'm gonna leave that one for forever, because it's I think the software shouldn't take any power more than you to delete a file. So it's just up to the users or us when we have to delete the files. Do we need those files? Do we not? The next one is caption. So the caption, this is the color codes. So the colors, when let's say it starts coming through the information, what colors you want to, you can change this easy just by clicking down the menu and select your colors. Same is same is for the channels. Channels, it's a dim data option. So dim data, it's picking by himself. It's show the dim the data. So I mean, when the data is coming through the trunking system, shall the data be dimmable? No. But if you want to dim the data, you just tick this one on true, and the data gonna be dimmable. Next one is the data, the color code of the data. So by default, it's coming in blue. So you, as I said before, you always can change this. Let's pop on the display modes. So the display modes, how do you want the number? Decimals or hexadecimals? By default is decimals, so if you want to change this, do so. Stamp. Days over both, so I never pay attention to this, I'm honest. So I'm leaving always this by default. So I don't think we need to change this, because this is played as simplifical roles into the receiving the signal. It's nothing to do with the signal, so it's just visual information. The culture, it said by himself, where are you? So are you in the States, United States, or you Europe? So this works only if you want to receive from radio reference some database. I never use this, just because I got my own database which I'm using. So I think you guys, if you want to change this for your country, you just do so, starting with the language and the states. The fonts, this is by himself. So if you want to change some font on the display information, you just choose your favorite one. And the lines. So this is the grid. So once you got the dividing display, so the grid, what color should be the lines. Listen. Hang and record. Shall we record this? Nothing, everything, or just the check it. So if you want to do the record in some conversation, you just do the everything, you just do the checking. So just the ticking chunking system, or inside in the system the users, is gonna be recorded. This is completely up to the end user, so you guys. This is the motor system, so the band plan. Which band plan are you guys using? So there is few options: Australia, North America, rebrand, red there. If you guys outside of those countries, of those locations, you just tick unknown. Known, this also it's close connected to the API database, and also it's connected to the receiving system. Just because in some countries the trunking system on some radios it's on 800 megahertz, some are on different bands. In Europe we are completely different of the America, let's say. For example, Omnilink. So the Omnilink, it's something you shouldn't touch, honestly. You don't need to touch the Omnilink because it's true always. So just leave that one like this. True. Right, platform. You got the GPI, the private, the managed address uptime. This is all those numbers. It's providing the visual information and the time of the radios. Can be changed if you want to. So we are close to the radio reference. So if you want to do the radio reference, you're pulling the database from there. You just add your user ID. So adding user ID is gonna pull down all the database from the radio reference to your location. Again, scope. The scope is the visual waterfall. Let's say waterfall. It's not waterfall. It's scope, where you can see the signal, the curve of the signal. Um, the first one is the actual curve, and the second color is the background. Select it. Again, I've never touched this, so I don't know exactly what those colors is doing it. So the tools, again, this is the colors for the tools, and the numbers, how they should be looks like. And this is the version of the Unitrunker, so you don't need to change this, you don't need to touch anything of this, you just leave it by default. Next is radios. You can change this with the options, radios, V4 system, so it's on the bottom left your menu. Once you go into the radios, basically, let me delete this. Let me take my radios out, starting fresh. This is by default the page, so there's no radios in here. So once you go inside, you just press the refresh, and should be appear your SDRs should be pop straight into the menu. If no, that means you got a serious problem with the installation of the driver. So you need to go all the way back on the initial point and check everything in the control panel and see what happened. I just have a look again my video in the beginning, and this will help you. Right, I don't think we need to get more information about how to. Inserting the radios. As I say, I'm working with two devices, two SDRs, V4. So let's open the first one. This is the first one. I'm gonna make a Windows a bit bigger so it's gonna be easy for you guys to see what I'm exactly doing and how to do also yourself. Radio 1, radio 2. The initial point, this is the by default. You have non-information, or the information which are inside, it must be changed. Starting with the labels, tags, logging, signal, voice, and center. The labels, it's talking about himself. So what is the label? So the information in here is gonna be up in here. So let's say if I name the first radio voice channel, so the information it's coming straight in top voice channel. Let's do that with the signal. So this is the voice channel. Apologize. So the next one is gonna be the control channel. So the control channel CC. Again, enter. See, now we got initial setting up begin. So this is the important to name your radios with the voice channel or control channel, so you know in every single point which device working like a control channel or voice channel. The next one is a tag. So if you want to put the tag, also you can do so. So the tag is the second row into the top menu. So let's say it's a you are able to get some information. Let's say this is the voice channel. Enter. So this is the additional information for the radio, or you want to do something like let's say V4. We know the V4 is the SDRs. Let's say number one. Oops, sorry. So number one. So we know this is the SDR device plugged into the port number one. Usually I'm not using this. You don't need. I think I got enough information with the voice channel and the control channel. The next system is logging. So shall we log the data? No, we don't need that. Because this is coming by himself. Signal. So this is the very interesting step. You need to pay attention to this. So the signal is responding for the VFR1 and VFR2. Basically, this is the two radios into one device. We don't need two radios, remember, we just need one radio per device. If you do and two in some point you may have some kind of crash or some kind of errors or something like it won't be work properly. So this step is very, very crucial to be changed at 0. You see, now we got only one VFO. Same for the control channel, 0. This is the proper way to make the receivers working each other, and properly. So we got the voice 1, voice 1. So the next step is we got the voice. You see, voice 1, voice 1. By default, both receivers, the voice is active, but we don't need two voice channels because we got one on control channel, we got one on voice channel. The voice channel should be at 1 always, and the control channel should be at 0. Allow me to explain why. So the control channel, let's say it stay always at the same frequency. That's the control channel, and it's gonna stay completely stand still at one frequency. What happened with the device with the voice channel? So voice channel gonna get the information from the control channel. It's gonna say go into that frequency. No, now move to that frequency. Now move to this. You see, a control channel is always on one position. It doesn't change the frequency. Only the voice channel is changing the frequencies. And this why we never ever gonna have the voice on the control channel. I think so. We never, because it shouldn't be have a voice on the control over the control channel, because this that mean it's the setup on the server on the trunking system. It's not a proper way complete, or usually you can't do so. This is just additional information. Center. So the center is you don't need to add any information. Usually you won't use this at the initial point, at this initial point. So next one it's your device, the device of the menu for your device. This information and this menu, it's also a very crucial, very important to set up in a proper way your RTL-SDR device. We're starting with the first. We got the name of the device, block V4, the SDR, the RTL-SDR name, the block V4. The secondary is a serial number. In some occasion, the serial number could be the same. You see, I've got now a different numbers, but in some occasion they're both same. The next is the rate. So the rate, what is this? So the information or the bandwidth of the RTL-SDR. It's a good practice to leave that one of 192. So remember, 192. Just because you won't get up to the limit of your SDR. So just step a little bit down, because the V4, they're not high-end SDRs. They're just, let's say, simple receivers, simple SDRs. That's why just leave that one on 192. LNA. So you may change the LNA if you want to. I strictly reckon do not touch this. So you don't need to touch LNA, VGA, mixer, gain. Them numbers, they're working absolutely perfectly fine. So when you may change this, the numbers, only if you see some weak signal and the Unitrunker cannot receive enough amount of proper data. So I mean the signals with the lower decibels, so I mean the lower signals, they need more amplification to be pulled and make them work into the Unitrunker. So for myself, this number's working perfectly fine. What happened? In my location, I got only one system. Only one system for the Motorola, which has not a lot of traffic. It's just very simple network. That's why those numbers working perfectly fine. So the next one, it's the wrap. This is the offset of your SDR V4 or SDR V3 or any SDR you have. So what is the offset? So let's say if we put the frequency, let's say 144 megahertz, your SDR, just because it's not high-end device, it goes slightly off the frequency, always. This can be plus or this can be minus, depends of your device. What happened? What I see with my devices, with my SDRs, if I'm using, let's say, for example, the SDR console, so the frequency is completely staying well as it should be. But if I'm using the Unitrunker, my frequency goes offset or -3. Don't ask me why, don't know. So this is the -3. Above devices goes on the same way. I think it was on -3, guys. So the next step, it's VFO1. By opening the VFO1, we need to change few things. Let's see, the first one, we see on the left window we got the voice channel, on the right window we got the signal channel or the control channel. On the first menu on the top, it's a signal, voice, unspecific. So on the voice channel, you need to mark this one out like a voice channel. On the next window, the control channel, you just need to mark this one as signal channel. Yes, signal channel. Now, squelch. Squelch, it's all depends of your straightness of the signal. So I mean, depend how powerful is your signal. I see in my position, in my location, the squelch of 50 works very well to me. So I'm just changing on the voice channel. I'm not changing on the control channel because we don't need that. We don't need that channel. Is just gonna send the information to the voice channel. Volume, it's up to you guys, up to you, whatever you want. Mute, no. In the next windows, the mute is yes, because we don't need this. This was done on the previous steps. So the offset Q, TSQ. This should be always no. See the both windows, the both we got no. The audio output. So what happened now? I just for that purpose of the video, I just delete the most of my virtual devices. So I got just the simple Microsoft. I got the speakers, and I got one virtual cable. So usually, if you guys not using at any other point your speakers, you just mark this one out as sound mapper, and that's it. So into the code, we need to add a manual frequency. Pay attention. On the voice channel, it should be a 0. On the control channel, we should add the working frequency or control channel frequency. In my case, I'm gonna utilize my vocal station. So it's a Motorola. So I'm gonna use this. As I mentioned before, I just have one, so it's quite good signal. That's why. Okay, we got the frequency. Now, the chase. The chase, usually it's always no. So depends of your system around. You may put this one yes. I'm not liking this. I just leave it by default and no. This is how it's working very well. What you have to change is dwell. Dwell, it should be at 5000. Always and above Windows. Now the discover. What I have, it's including the LTR. Even I have no LTR networks around me, but even that I'm always doing the all the networks. I've just got the yes, except the logging. So if you want to log any file, any data, also you can do this just by pressing yes. You don't need that. As I mentioned before, it does this in the previous steps automatic if you want to. And voice. The rank, I'm leaving this at 50 always. So site tags. This is something which we need to pay attention if you want to add the tag of the site. So let's say we got the site 1, site 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. So it's to name this, let's say site 1, it's let's say basement. Site 2, it's first floor. Site 3, it's second floor, etc., etc., etc. This is how we name the sites. System tag. You can add the system names whatever you want, if you want to. Also the channel tags, address tags, group and unit calls. This is always stay as is by default. You can change this group calls. You can do just for unit calls, but doing group and unit calls so you have the more cover on the whole the network. So I mean you listen all the radios. Basically this is the settings for the Unitrunker. It's very easy. I know the video is quite longer, but this is how I can explain myself how to set up your Unitrunker including drivers. Our next step is, let's check this one out if it's working. Now is the final steps. So we got all connected, all this is set up. Everything now should work for you. To get this one on, so you may do this over here to start your SDRs. It should be starting one by one by marking the SDRs, or you may want to open the windows, and by opening the windows you just pressing play button on the top and to get work. You see running. Sometimes you need to press this one twice. I have no clue why, but it just happened. Now we don't need anymore the voice channel, the window, so we can shut the window easy and continue work with the control channel window. So to see this one, the scope, to see the signal, you just need to press on the display until you go to the IQ signal. Now this is very strange to me because the signal has the offset on the left. So you see the dividing line, it's the middle of the frequency, as center of the frequency. And I got this shift on the left. Knows why? Let's use the ppm and try to adjust this one. 2.5. So minus 2.5. So in my case at the moment, maybe because the RTOs they know enough warm, that's why the frequency has been shifted. It's a good habit to get monitoring this the center of the frequency. So you go left, just make sure you put them on the center of the frequency. This is the easiest way to work to get a properly working your Unitrunker. So you see I got the signal, it's not enough strong just because my antenna it's a bit lower now. We had a couple of days with the wind, so I put the antenna down. I need to put the tower back tomorrow, but anyways, this will do. This will work for us at the moment. So leaving that window open, we go down into the settings and we're pressing the V4. This is the next step. So you see now we pick up the system. This is the MPT1327, a Motorola. So the signal, the control channel knows this is the Motorola system, so we know what, so he know what he have to do. And the voice channel park it, so don't pay much attention to this. Is gonna be changed automatic. Let's see, the next one is the system. So that's the system. It's a Motorola. See, it's a Motorola. The name, the date, also the last seen. This is the bit old information, just because it hasn't been updated at the moment, but it will do soon. So what happened? Well, the next step is once you get your signal at the center, and your signal is enough strong, automatically need to be pop up a window which say hold the information to you. So bear with me, guys. I'm gonna put on the LNA just because now it's a bit dark outside, and uh, that's why I just too late to get the tower up. So just stay with me. I'm gonna put the LNA amplifier. We'll see what happened with the signal. So I just hook up the amplifier of the signal, and you can see the window just pop up automatic. Information we got is the site 9481. This is the logging data. The last time I have been listening this. This is on 9th of November and 12th of November. And also you got the info, so you got the channels, you got the calls, so between the radios, so you got the pairs, you got the band plan, patches, properties, etc, etc. There's quite a lot of information inside here, you may find out. And so you see you got a plenty of information, and this is the very useful information, so you may do your logbook or your database with the whole information. Again, this is the Motorola site, and the site has no plenty of traffic. Let's look around. So you got the join, you got the group, you got user data. So unticking this is gonna remove the information of your monitor. So just clicking, you're marking what you want to see at your monitor. So I just got all of them marked, and this is how it's working basically. In conclusion, what I'm using is a homemade splitter. The splitter has I think has 6 output, one antenna, 6 outputs. If you want to get the drawing, so no worries, just let me know. Also, for the amplification of the signal I'm using, I'm sorry guys, I can't remember what is, but it was very well made amplifier. I'm always saying, if you want to get a good results with the scanning, with this hobby basically, the cheap items in many occasions they're not good. They're just opposite. They won't give you that's what you expecting. They're gonna give you the worst. That's why don't be cheap. Spend a bit more money, a couple dollars or pounds or whatever you have, euros. Just get something which is standing on the market and it's good. I think this is the whole the information, guys, you need to set up your Unitrunker with your RTL-SDR device. Thanks for watching, and please, if you have any problems with the setting up, I'll do my best to answer it. Just put them down below into the comment section, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible, and I'm gonna try to help you. So please, if you like my video, just like it, and don't forget subscribe to my channel. My next video will be very interesting. At the moment, nothing else. Thank you guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.